Let's talk about the whip card. Of course, the classical Lenormand meaning is arguments, fights, but it can go much deeper than that and much more internalized than that. Hi, this is Carmina and welcome back to another Lenormand episode in Lenormand Mondays. And today's star is the whip. Last week I made my first real short video about the whip because I had been having a very repetitive, tense day. So I thought, why not channel that frustration into a video that would show the essence of the whip. And I must say I have a newfound respect for short creators because you have to put that essence into a very limited number of seconds and also make it entertaining and a little bit funny. So kudos to you shorts creators. Now back to our whip. Today I'll present to you how this one little card shows up in real life, in your thoughts, your relationship, your habits, even in your workout routine. So let's dive in. The whip can symbolize inner conflict, that repetitive thought that you just can't stop revisiting, that memory of, I should have done that in that moment, I should have answered in that way, this is how I should have acted, this is what I should have done. That loopy internal thought that just keeps coming back, overanalyzing, self-critical. I'm gonna give you a personal example. I was editing a video and then I thought it was done, so I left it a little bit and then I rewatched it again and then I saw that I had to edit a lot more of it, so it took a lot longer. That's one example. Some possible card combinations, two card combinations to illustrate this meaning of overthinking and revisiting that self-critical, self-guilting thought. The whip and the birds would be an obsessive chatter, an anxiety spiral. Then the whip and the book would be ruminating over something that is hidden. The whip is ruminating and the book is something unknown or hidden or something occult. Or depending on the context, it could be really studying with intense focus for your exam, cramming it in. It's just ruminating and focusing, obsessing over that thing. Let's go to meaning number 2, verbal conflict, arguments. This is the classical whip interpretation. Heated words, debates, verbal clashes. It doesn't have to always be a huge fight. It can just be also a continuous nagging and irritation, like that continuous irritation, and also some continuous passive-aggressive remarks, bickering, nitpicking. Can also point to an internal argument, the endless battle between should and want. Or, if I want to quote a classic, what you want to do is not necessarily what you're gonna do. That is also a quintessential whip quality. I'm gonna give you 2 examples of combinations. One, whip followed by the fox. It's calculated fighting. So argument that is calculated or manipulative, like the fox, very strategic. The whip and the letter is anger channeled through messages, like someone writing an angry comment to my YouTube video. Why are you doing this? That's the whip plus the letter. Angry written communication. Let's go now to meaning number 3, physical repetition and exercise. Repetition isn't always bad. Just like Mars, the planet, can be the planet of accidents, can be the planet of difficult things, difficult tasks, but it's also the planet of courage and going forward. Just in that way, the whip is also good for physical exercise and things that require intense repetition. The whip also rules rhythm, repetition, and movement, like working out, dancing, and martial arts. It's the burn, the discipline, the sweat. So depending on the context, the whip can also make you wonder Where am I pushing myself physically? Where am I repeating something to build mastery? For instance, the whip plus the rider can be an intense cardio, or can be also horse races. That's very literal. The whip and the tree can be physical rehab because the tree is health, or it can be the daily movement, the daily workout routine. I also have a personal example. I had a client who was asking whether she should go again to university for becoming a physical education teacher. And the last card of the spread was the whip. And that showed me very literally, yes, this is something that you have to go for. Interpretation number 4. The whip can indicate self-punishment, where you feel guilty and try to make up by repeating the pain. Just like the monks, I don't know if they still do that. They used to whip themselves for making mistakes, or there are these processions in some countries like Spain where people walk with crosses and they whip themselves just to show that they deserve to suffer pain and to endure. This is especially relevant in spiritual or very like people that have to suffer in some way, to do some fasting, or they have to do some penance, or people that believe that they grow through suffering. The energy is, I must suffer to grow. I'm gonna give you 2 combinations that are relevant to the self-flagellation and self-guilt and inflicting pain on the self. The whip followed by the cross is suffering rooted in belief. Like I'm suffering because I have to, it's meant to be, it's my destiny, it's my cross to bear. Meaning number 5. So historically, the whip has been linked to sexual tension and also taboo desires, BDSM, all that. It's not always literal, doesn't always have to be BDSM, but it can point out to repressed or intense urges that are trying to express themselves. And also the sexual act itself, it's something very repetitive. And one student of mine during the Lenormand course, a student who is French, pointed out that the name for the whip in French is also used to name the sexual act, fouetter. So le fouet, fouetter, linked to the sexual act. So it's quite literal in French. Lenormand was created in France, so that's the etymology. For instance, the whip and the lilies. Passionate but mature connection. The lilies also can point out to sexuality. The whip and the snake is temptation, forbidden desires, something you shouldn't do, but that is very tempting and you can be very obsessed about. Some final thoughts. When you pull the whip, you can ask yourself, what am I repeating? And is it helping or hurting me? Hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed talking to you about the energy of the whip. If you're interested in Lenormand, I'm going to start on the 22nd of June, a monthly practice group where we do readings for ourselves, for our loved ones. We interpret readings we did for others. Until then, I will see you next time. I'll be doing more shorts and I'll see you soon. Bye!